and I'm already having like one of the best days of my life. Highly recommend you if you are coming to Munich on a Sunday. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Munich vlog. We are exploring the neighborhood of Birkenfels. It is a really great area for nightlife. It is a little bit of a younger crowd. There is a lot of like pubs, restaurants. There's even that Ferris wheel that you'll see here. We are going to head to all the museums today. Every Sunday, most of the museums are €1 for entry. So we're gonna check that out. There is a crowd of museums like for art and natural history museum, like a coin collection museum, all around the same area, and they open from the earliest from 9:30, but most of them from 10 to about 5 or 6. So we're gonna see how many we can hit up today and not give my recommendations. This area, Max Vorstadt, is the area where all the museums are. Is snowing again. It's very cold. Behind me is like another museum, and this massive building here that we're heading into first is Alte Pinakothek. Taking a little coffee break at the museum still. I said I wanted to go to as many museums as possible, but it's snowing outside, but let's see what we can do. So far everything is amazing. There's like famous artists like Van Gogh, Rembrandt. I am a huge fan of traditional art. Let me know in the comments below what kind of museum you guys prefer to go to, and let me show you a little bit more around. Pinakothek was so cool. I definitely love all the traditional art, and I am now headed to, I think, Pinakothek the Moderne. It is already 3 p.m. and I probably spent about 3 hours here. Don't think I can make it to too many more museums. I think one more, but absolutely a fabulous way to spend your Sunday since all the museums in this area are €1. I wish I had a little bit more time, but I really didn't want to rush through it, and I'm sure I'll be back one day to check out the other museums. The Modern is such a contrast compared to Alte Pinakothek. I personally like the traditional art more, but I am glad I came here. You see such really interesting like exhibits and sculptures here. It's not quite interactive, but definitely more fun in a sense to walk around, and like lots of things for you to get that perfect Instagram photo if you are interested in that. Looks like all the art here is from the 20th century to even the 21st century, so like super modern stuff. There's some paintings from Kiki Smith that we saw right at the beginning, those hearts. They're from 2023. You see what I mean about being super fun, whereas the art in Alte Pinakothek is like from the 15th century, 16th, 14th century even, so really like old stuff 400 or 500 years ago compared to all the stuff here. One place where I probably won't get to check out while I'm in Munich is the BMW Welt Museum. The Welt section is free of charge, and the museum is, I think, is something like €14, but you definitely have to reserve well in advance. One of the reasons why I'm probably not going is because I couldn't get tickets. The dates I wanted to head to were already sold out when I went to look. The BMW Museum is said to be a must-see though, so if you are in town for more than a couple of days, the BMW Vault, as well as the BMW Museum and the factory tour should be on your list if you are a car enthusiast. Oh, I love these antiques. This one's from 1879. This is my favorite type of chair. I've seen so many variations of this over the years. Alright, I'm gonna end it with the furniture here. My intrusive self says that I can make this chair and I would love it. If I had to pick one thing for the Modern Museums though, would 100% be the furnitures. Ending off our visit from Pinakothek der Moderne with Paula Swiher's exhibit. I hope you enjoyed this museum, and I think we might have time to go to the Egyptian one, so hang tight. Taking a quick snack/lunch break before the next museum. I think we're gonna head to the Egyptian, which is what I just told you. The Modern Museum was quite fast. I only took about an hour and then I kind of saw everything. The Alte Pinakothek took me about 2 or 3 hours and I took a little bit more of my time. So plenty of time. Actually, it's just 4 p.m. I think I might just finish off at the Egyptian. I also got like 2 sets of forks. I think they thought maybe 2 people would eat this, but just me. Not sure if the spinach quiche was like the best way to get healthy vegetables, but it's pretty good. One thing I'm super excited about for tonight is I'm heading to a beer garden for the very first time. I've never been to a beer hall, beer garden, that sort of thing. Munich is famous for the Oktoberfest, and I've never been, and I don't have a huge desire to go because I am not a massive beer drinker, but it is something you have to do in your life. So I'm just gonna head to a beer garden. One really famous one is called Augustine Keller, which is the one I'm going to. There's another one called like Harps. I'll put it in the subtitles here. But there's a couple of really famous ones, so I'm definitely gonna go check it out and still have like a liter of beer just so that I can say that I've tried it. I'm so excited to head there, so I'll share it with you at the end. I haven't even finished up the museums that I want to go to on Sundays so far, and I'm already having like one of the best days of my life. Highly recommend you, if you are coming to Munich on a Sunday, to do just like a museum day. From 10 to 6, just go hopping around, having like a leisure coffee at the cafes or like a bite to eat like I'm doing now. I feel so good and I don't feel too rushed at all. That was like my concern, was like I didn't want to feel like I was hopping from museum to museum, but everything is like a couple minutes walk away from each museum, so it's super close. Absolutely amazing, and you cannot beat this deal. I don't care how much money you have, it always feels so good to get a deal. Usually like the price admissions for these museums are anywhere from like 10 to 15 euros each person, and on Sunday it's €1. Make sure that you know, if it's, especially if it's like winter, you can't bring like big bags or like big jackets in, but there's a coat check that's usually just €1. Or if you get lucky and there's a free locker, the lockers just need a €2 deposit, but you get that back. So a super budget day, and I am absolutely loving every second of it. And unlike the other museum we went to in my last vlog, the Halls de Call, the very contemporary modern museum, which was also like a free day because it was like the last Saturday or something, that one was so busy to get in, and that one I'd rather have paid. I think I lined up for like an hour for that free admission. It was not worth like 10 euros that I was saving. But on the other hand, these free museums on Sundays, it happens every single Sunday, so there wasn't really a line at all. Like I only waited like 2 minutes really for like the 2 people in front of me, and I didn't feel too crowded because these museums are so big and there's so many museums that are free on the same day. No one's really going to like all the same museum all at once, so didn't feel crowded, like no lineup, so good. The Egyptian Museum is located right beside the university. Even the entrance is super cool. Makes me feel like I'm going into Egypt. The Egyptian Museum takes me so far back history lane, and it's so much more different than the first 2 museums that we just visited. So if you get like museum fatigue, this definitely gives you like a break from like traditional art, modern art, and now like Egyptian sculptures. Super cool. One thing I also like about this is that there's like pathways of how to walk so that you can finish the museum as efficiently as possible. The arrows kind of guide you around the right way to go. I feel like I'm collecting those like rave bands, except this time it's museums. I can easily take it off. You see, find that inner strap and pull, and it comes off. These are so cute. I'm loving these vases. After a lot of tomb robbing, instead of jeweled out coffins, painting was a popular way to depict afterlife. Don't tell anybody. I'm just kidding. This exhibit here is touching. So you're allowed to touch all the models on display. Some of my favorite things, jewelry. This is all gold. Absolutely amazing. The Egyptian craftsmanship for all types of metals and different materials. I had such a fantastic time here. If you ever have a chance, check this museum out. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed everything and you get a chance to have the beer. I'll see you next time and hope you got some fun things for you to do on Sunday when you're in Munich. Bye. Ooh, this is Kongsplatz. I am staying at Le Meridian. Yes, I'm wearing like basically like a duvet coat. You'll see that throughout my vlogs because it is freezing here. Le Meridian is so central. It's actually right across the street from Hauptbahnhof, which is that central station. You can even see it right outside my room.
Welcome. Usually, it's a smaller city in Munich, but it's really famous.
We just had Usagi for dinner. It's a Japanese restaurant and I thought the food was decent for being in Munich. I think it wasn't as good as, if we were in Japan or even back in a country where it's by the coast. But overall, I think the food was quite fun and a bit of difference if you want to take a little bit of break from German food. Thank you so much for joining me today and I will see you again. Bye. One thing that was absolutely amazing though that I do need to call out was the sesame ice cream. For some reason, that was the one dish that stood out to me the most. And it was so creamy, a little salty, kind of nutty, but like absolutely amazing. And I felt like that one scoop was quite generous. Have a good night.